sense.
And we're back!
And we're back!
Yep, we're back with more Echo. We decided, we're not going to wait till Tuesday. We're just going to go ahead and keep going because things are getting interesting.
We're
We
so
could have
excited.
pretended like it was Tuesday.
We're so
But then
excited to see
people would
Chase
wonder where
die.
Harry is, so...
Who cares about him?
Anyway, what were you saying, DJ?
We're just so excited to see Chase die of spiders again.
Chase is already no longer here.
I know, but I feel like it'll happen again.
It'll happen again.
We'll see it again.
Happen again.
I mean, look, the thing is,
If you
I'm
do
free
it.
from the curse of having to be the protagonist. That's the silver lining here for me. So, enjoy the burden, Seb.
Okay.
Buckle up.
I enter and the dry heat feels good on my scales. Let out a big sigh and taking a moment to just not think for a while and ignore the stares in my direction.
Flynn?
The moment lasts less than 5 seconds before Jenna interrupts. Yeah?
Do you have a landline? We're trying to dial the sheriff, but none of us can get any reception on our phones. It shows bars every now and then, but then drops shortly after they appear.
Do I look like I'm 40? Nobody has landlines these days.
I do love that because I remember getting rid of our landline in my family's home like back in 2009. So
Same.
Actually, I can still call my family's landline.
Same.
wow.
I cannot.
Nice.
Neither can I.
I
And
mean,
their
I can
number
still
is-
call my parents' phone numbers. They have the same ones.
hmm
Why is there a loony chasing me?
So I was gonna offer this up to you, Seb. Would you like me to be Carl so that way you can save
sure.
your voice a little? All right. You kind of do. I mean, from the back.
I resist the urge to ask how instead of letting out a quick huff of air. Let me check mine. I reach into my pocket. After taking out my phone, I notice the signal bars in the top right are fluctuating wildly, almost blinking. Try to call 911, but nothing goes through. Shit.
Not working for you either?
Toss my phone on the kitchen island. I'll just get my repeater.
You're what?
Flynn? Seriously? Are you planning on turning this into some kind of Wild West shootout?
This is not the time for one of your urban-ass anti-gun lectures. This is my house.
I have this money.
In my house! You're an urban piece of shit!
You and your college-educated liberal asses.
If I want a gun, I should be able to go to Walmart and buy a gun.
In fairness, it's very handy that he has a gun in this particular
Scenario,
situation.
yes.
True.
Yeah, but literally, like, that's the only time where a gun's super useful is in a end of the world scenario.
I mean, there are some communities where it's like, it's actually very helpful to
Okay,
Yeah, like-
yeah, but like those are also communities that like there could be a lot more done to help get their safety level up.
Yeah.
Well,
And like
I mean,
we as a society
No,
could
like
probably do
hunting.
more.
Well, like hunting and
Alaska.
shit. Yeah.
Alaska, there is such a remote location
Okay,
that...
I will give you Alaska, but that's because they were very different scenarios compared to like living out in like the Midwest or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jenna
And then-
starts up a rebuttal when I'm already gone.
Do you know
Just
how
sounds like
dangerous it
Robot.
is to conduct research in Canada? The researchers keep on getting eaten by wolves.
Aw,
Oh,
good
wow.
puppers.
Just imagine conducting a study. You go door to door to collect data, and just there is a chance you'll be eaten by wolves.
Like the
We're being
idea
struck
that
by moose.
What are they doing?
you knock on the door and like inside there's just a wolf in like the grandma outfit like, oh yes, come in.
Come in, darling.
Oh yes, I am very much voting for Labour.
I mean, I assume they were nature researchers, but I'm sure it applies to all fields evenly and equally.
Yes.
No,
I head down the
no,
hallway to the storage closet, opening it and reaching up to the top shelf. I don't have any small kids to worry about, so I always leave this one loaded, just in case.
What do you call Daxton?
A nerd. Here's some shuffling behind me. Looking over my shoulder, there's some movement going on in Daxton's room. Ordinarily, I give him and his private space a wide-ass berth so that I he'll do the same, but under the circumstances... Yo! Salamander blinks up at me from his bed. He's draped in a striped blanket, sitting upright and looking a little frazzled.
Should I be Daxton?
I guess, yeah.
Alright. I'll be Daxton, so, Flynn?
Looks sidelong and then back to me, then the rifle.
The interview went that badly?
Fucking
that.
terribly. Also, there's a meth head with a gun roaming around town, so I got this just in case. The others are here too, and they're all eating your shit, probably.
Okay. As long as they don't touch my astronaut dried ice cream, it's okay.
I love that.
Too late by now.
Fucking
Carl's
nerd.
eating them all, plus the box that came in. You know how goats are.
That's just rude.
Specious.
Species.
Wait, seriously? The interview didn't go smooth like?
I wasn't fucking kidding when I said that. Daxton frowns.
I'll talk to my cousin. Maybe make up some excuse or something.
You look like shit.
What?
He blinks, then rubs his hands over his smooth face.
Oh, yeah. Took a nap and had a real strange sort of vision dream. I've been having a lot of those lately.
Notice the pen and paper on his lap now, plus a notebook filled with rapid scribblings.
I needed to write everything down, otherwise I'd forget. You know how they are, where after 15 minutes it's all gone, but a vague sense of familiarity of the setting and time of day.
Not when it's a very vivid dream and you wake up in a state.
I don't dream. See, I'm not Flynn. I do dream.
And I'm not Chase, but I fucking hear you guys calling me Chase all the goddamn time whenever I disconnected.
Whatever. The salamander blinks.
What?
I look down the hall. And I wasn't joking earlier, but it looks like Carl's straight up digging through our pantry already. Daxton sighs when he realizes I'm not going to explain.
Well, can I tell you about it?
Oh.
Look, I don't...
It'll take just a minute.
Dax, I'm distracted as dick right now.
You're distracted by Dick?
As...
Ass?
You fucking deaf.
Apparently.
No, you're just confusing. Look, I was flying on this airship thing.
In your dream?
Yeah, but it felt real. I don't feel like I slept at all. It's like I was there. So, not a dream.
Not a dream.
A vision, spirit quest, out-of-body experience, whatever the hell you want to be calling it.
I lean my rifle against the doorway, crossing my arms over my chest.
I could smell the metal of the cockpit, and I could feel the leather of the chair. I was flying over this giant body of water. I don't think it was an ocean, though.
Stares at the tips of his webbed feet poking out from beneath the blanket, as if they would remind him something.
It made me nervous because I wasn't good at swimming. But I'm great at swimming. I'm a goddamn salamander, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Something went wrong with the pulse drive, and I started losing altitude. Eventually, I hit the water and had to evacuate. Everything just sunk instantly. I didn't have time to grab any gear. It was just me, in the middle of the water. No land in sight, and little chance of rescue.
Salamander begins to wring his own wrists, his tone of voice serious despite the absurdity of all this shit.
All I knew how to do was doggy paddle. I remember being really scared and missing home. I tried slipping off my clothing to make myself more buoyant, but it didn't work. I kept looking under the water for some reason. I'd like to see how deep it was. I couldn't see the bottom. It was so dark. The top of the water was warm, but even like 5 feet down, it was freezing. I kept trying to pull my legs up because I didn't like them being down the cold, dark space. It was like I was afraid something was down there. Even though it hurt my eyes, I wouldn't stop pushing my head under to look, just to be sure it was safe.
He peers up at me now, a strange sort of expression on his face I can't really name.
Just as it was getting dark, I glanced down to the depths and saw orange and black. It was you.
Crossed my arms a little tighter, my frown deepening.
You were so far down, I could just barely make out your general shape and your eyes. They were hollow, empty, nothing. Even though I forgot most of the other details, that face stuck with me.
Unconsciously rubbed at my own eyes, still there as far as I can see.
I was terrified, but there was nothing I could swim. Oh, there was nowhere I could swim. I was afraid if I started kicking, it would get the thing's attention. Despite everything, after a few minutes, I looked again. At first, it was just empty. And then, this huge head emerged from the depths. No eyes, and a gaping mouth where a muzzle should be. The whole water got cold. And I woke up.
Daxton needs his blankets, looking a mix of deeply uncomfortable and relieved to get this off his chest. Still, I stare blankly at him. I don't have a fucking clue how to react to this. Sounds like something for a head shrink to unpack, because fuck knows if I'm not gonna try. Daxton leans his head back against the wall.
Thanks anyway.
Yep. Look down the hall again and see Carl chewing on what looks like dehydrated and Neapolitan bar. Carl's eating your shitting ice cream that you like for real, by the way.
What? Oh, God damn it! Carl!
Ram stops his mouth full of the crumbly stuff.
What?
Daxton peels off his blanket, marching up to the kitchen in a huff. I sigh, shaking my head some as I pick up the rifle and plop myself by a window in the dining room. Deja looks most surprised at the weapon in my grasp. The Lynx actually stepping back.
Now you're gonna answer some goddamn questions.
Ooh, I
Answer.
don't want to talk. Just want to sit here and be mopey.
Jenna puts her phone down and Carl stops his apologizing to Daxton. That moment, Leo steps out of the bathroom. He doesn't move. Just looks at the rifle, then me. What the hell? These idiots act like they've never seen a gun before.
Ah!
For fuck's sake. And bring up the rifle to my chest. Y'all don't gotta worry. I just have to shoot... I just have this shoot you all for treating me like the shit for all these years. I smirk, snickering some. No one else laughs. Even as I peer to Carl, he just looks down at his hooves. It's a fucking joke. I'm joking. You guys are so stupid.
You're
Way
so
to go, Flynn!
stupid.
I turn shifting focus to the outside. It's nearly nightfall now. And everything looks normal. There's some smoke way off in the distance, but it's too far to really be much of concern.
I can't get a hold of Chase.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. The signal in the area is erratic. We couldn't get a call out to 911.
Is that why Gia Gunslinger is over there by the window?
I sneer.
Yes. He insisted on us being protected.
That's smart. I left my piece at home.
Oh, we all remember your gun and your rat, Leo. A lot of
Yeah,
freaking
dude.
good it
Like
did
your
us.
legs off.
Oh my
With a
god.
giant train.
Yeah, it was a train that did that.
Yeah, but he did use that gun to kill Kudzu.
Oh, did I really? Oh, yeah,
Oh,
he did.
yeah. Kudzu bets Kudzu!
Yeah, poor Kudzu.
Oh gods.
Kudzu.
Oh god. Not you two. Let's just make some dinner instead.
We're not gonna talk about what happened?
I am sorry. Right now, I just want to eat.
He just like bared his soul. And everyone's like, fuck you, dude. Thanks for the information.
There's a lot here to unpack, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be, but we can do better than what happened earlier.
Find myself actually surprised. Never would have figured that I'd hear those words from Jenna, especially with TJ around.
You know, I'd kill for some carne asada right now, yeah?
You?
Hopefully not literally. Flynn's already got that planned.
Yummy.
Yeah, heard.
Gives me a bit of a cold look. How's his problem? I'm the goddamn victim, dude. Not that I'd ever put it like that.
I haven't exactly grocery shopped to host a party of
Jackson stops, starting to count all of us.
6.
Salamander opens the fridge, staring into it as if looking into a particularly deep canyon.
We've got leftover salad, some fruit, cream cheese.
There's frozen bass in the fridge. I glance over a few of them grimace. Of course.
We got a blender. Could make some smoothies with the kefir, yogurt,
Kefir.
milk, and fruit.
It's pronounced kefir.
Oh, okay, kefir. With kefir, yogurt,
Yeah.
milk, and fruit.
Fruit.
Maybe a side salad with it? I mean, I'm assuming y'all have just been quaffing down the local diner junk all week, so it might be nice.
Carl, TJ, and Jenna exchange looks with each other. Leo, meanwhile, looks to be tapping at his phone, occasionally looking out the window.
That'll work. Thank you, Daxton. And apologies for all this.
I didn't say it was fine. Some of that's my shit. Jackson gives me a dull look. Without further word, he takes out a big bowl of leftover salad and sets it on the counter along with a grocery bag of fruit. I feel my teeth start to grit, so I shift my focus outside again. Still no signs of life beyond the usual distant spots of light, each coming and going down the highway around the canyon.
Oh.
Smoke I noticed earlier rising up near the res. Looks like it's billowed higher, though. Despite everything, it's actually sort of nice out. Temperature's okay, and with some light cloud cover that only partially veils the purple-orange hues of dusky sky. It's the sort of night I'd usually like to spend outside on a porch, drinking tea and whittling on some balsa. Jackson's usually quiet, cooped up in his room with his fantasy shit. I don't know how I feel about the music he usually has playing. It's not bad. I think 30 miles away, Peyton's bustling with 100,000 people all enjoying their Saturday night. Hell, back in the day, it used to be a tiny ranching community that serviced Echo, kept everyone fed and such. 30 miles in the other direction, you've got the rest. Population keeps dwindling from that place too, no matter how much money feds give to them to live there. All the young folk just pack up and go out while they can. The rest generally don't do too hot. Finally, 65 miles to the east, you've got Jericho Proving Grounds.
Sorry, it's pronounced Jericho.
Jericho, right? Jericho Proving Grounds. Remember back when I was a tweeny little jarhead, fussing to my uncle to take me there. I only did 2 tours twice a year, and just huge wait lists. I had expected there to be a giant hole in the ground the size of Echo Canyon, but there was pretty much nothing. Dust and sediment had filled it all in over a span of 75 years. Dry grass and shrubs had even sprouted on top. All that was left was just a torn up hunk of tree and tunk up that torn up hunk of 3-ton cylinder that burned so hot and the metal liquefied and pulled beneath it. You could walk through the site and have no idea there was a fucking A-bomb was dropped. Well, if it weren't for the big black obelisk that erected on top. Which now just which now is just another spot for visitors to take photos of themselves. Man mustn't forget the past, for the past will not forget man, it reads. It reminds me of the whole push from the county to make the mine some fucking tourist spot. Just slap a plaque up there and a little blurb about all the death and shit. We'll make a great selfie spot. Traffic, right? No, call it haunted, and you'll get even more weirdos coming here to exploit it. Like Jace.
Or Devin and Cameron.
As I hear the background noise of a muffled conversation and Daxon trying to figure out how my blender works, present sinks in. I wonder if he's gonna figure out his way before I can get to him.
Yeah. Read that line again and figure out what he's referring to.
Wonder if he's gonna figure his way out before I can get to him.
Oh yeah, authentic blender sounds.
I look over and Daxon is putting a whole fucking apple into the blender. Some bitch, what are you doing?
Tell him
Daxon
no,
looks
like,
struggling to keep the lid on this. The apple smacks hard against the sides of the plastic container.
That's not how you do it, my friend.
Cut the fucking thing up first. It's not gonna take a whole apple. Salamander looks a bit dazed. Guess he's still reeling from his dream or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Don't just me. Do you fucking slippery bitch. Or you break my shit.
There's a reason why I really wanted Harry to voice Daxton.
Oh man. Flynn.
Jenna's glaring at me from the living room. It's my shit, it's my house.
Jesus, man, I'm stopping.
Pulls out the lacerated apple, setting it on the paper towel while grumbling.
Gosh darn Asperger's and french fries, I swear.
I clench my rifle harder at hearing that old A word again. Turning, I make my way down the hall. There's a window in my bedroom. I'll watch there. No one else says anything. At least while I'm still in earshot. Kick aside my hamper and pull up the curtains to peer outside. View's not as good here, but I don't think I could stand being in there too much longer. I tense, feeling the brush of fur on my arm. Carl's standing next to me, some freeze-dried ice cream in his grasp. Jesus, when did he get so quiet? Doesn't say anything, which puts me in the awkward position of being the one to speak. Fat ass. I mumble. Carl holds up the ice cream, which has a weird wafer-like consistency.
I told Daxton I'd give him a bunch of Hens cartons if I got back to my house.
Folks won't mind?
They won't notice. I could say I ate it myself.
Yeah, they wouldn't doubt that. There's a light smile on his muscle now.
Right.
I blink. You're okay?
Not really. All this stuff got my mind off the interview, though. Just kind of want to go home and play video games without getting shot.
There was a silent pause.
Chase. What he said wasn't true.
Oh, I know. I let out a sharp exhale, closing my eyes for a second. I let the tip of my repeater rest against the floor. Thank you, Del.
For what?
Bending me back at the office. Ram shakes his head dismissively.
I don't think you'll see most of them besides Leo again after tomorrow, though. Like you said, none of this matters.
It does.
I guess your spring break hookup with Chase isn't gonna be a long-term thing then, right?
Yeah. I wasn't really expecting that to be brought up. Who told him? It wasn't that fucking obvious. Pulls out his phone, seeming to check to see whether my Wi-Fi is working yet. I grunt, clearing my throat. Just want to know what happened.
Dude, if I was Chase, I'd just get in my car and drive back to Pueblo at this point.
I don't think he's gonna do that.
Why?
Locked his ass in the reading room.
Yeah. How many of you guys realized that what was going on?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
What's going on? I
Flynn intentionally locked Chase in the reading room?
Yeah?
Holy shit.
Why? Well, I guess... I mean, he did just find out that Chase fucking killed
No, he didn't.
his friend. Oh, he didn't?
Nothing was specifically said.
It's insinuated by the two brown bodies tossing in the water, but that was never actually a true confirmation that Chase did the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Did
He was wanting to possibly talk to Chase and get confirmation, and Chase was also been real weird out of nowhere, what with his whole, I just got punched in the face and now I'm gonna start walking in random directions in this building.
Yeah.
but yeah, dude. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did he know that there was a lot of black widows in there?
Well, let's just keep reading.
Okay.
Carl's eyes widened, the ram reacting much quicker than normal without his usual pot haze.
So that's where you went. I think that's a crime, man.
So it was murder.
Dude. This is Chase you're talking about.
Yeah. I look off, peering at the sorry state of my room, as at the moment. I usually keep shit tidy, but now there's dirty laundry all over the place and everything kind of smells musky. Nowhere near as bad as Carl's, but still. I'm just gonna talk to him.
No torture or anything, right?
Fucking hell, Carl. Do you really think I'd do that? I'm not Leo.
I mean, he's
Oh,
right.
no.
Woof. Woof.
I was joking.
He rolls his shoulders.
It feels kind of like when we were kids again, with all this stuff.
Yeah, it's trail off like my mouth is refusing to speak the words in my head. He sets his not icy ice cream down on my nightstand, and I resist the urge to yell at him about the crumbs. Meanwhile, Daxton starts up the blender again in the other room.
Man,
I think I hear Carl sigh.
do you want, like, a hug or something?
I look down at him, raising a brow. Do you? He shrugs, seeming a mixture of numb and trepidatious.
I just don't want you to leave, dude. Not like everyone else.
Takes me a moment to register the shift in conversation. After everything that's happened, that's what's bothering him the most. fact that I said I might leave town? And we talked about this shit, or
I know, dude.
Carl rubs his jaw and face with the base of his paws, pacing upon the carpet floor.
I just... It suck ass, that's all. Not in a good way either.
Fidget my rifle, acting like I'm doing something with it while I think of what to say. You'd be alright. I don't know, you seem to be friendly up with Dax. He even plays video games and does all that other nerd shit you like that I don't.
You game sometimes.
Yeah, only because you do.
I guess that's the point, isn't it?
Scratches his beanie, a bit of his head fur peeking out from the horn holes. I say nothing, just watching him go back and forth. Wish he wasn't so nervous. I wish he'd just say it.
He's cool.
You're not all anxious around him.
I still kinda am.
We're talking about porn shit with him within an hour of your first proper conversation. That's how you can tell you've made a good friend. I put on a smirk.
I mean, that's
If that were the
true.
case... Wait, what was that?
I said, I mean, that's true.
Fair enough.
If that were the case, you'd be the most popular guy in the county.
Oh, fuck off, waiter. I snark regardless. With a shift of my hips, I nudge him with my tail. Stop your treading wearing out the carpet.
Sorry.
Stops looking down at the post for a moment, then back up to me.
If I stayed put, I'd probably start sticking to it.
Fuck you. I smile, though I try to stifle it. I always thought us little folk look fucking creepy when we smile. We don't really have that same cutesy appeal like most furry fuckers. Like Carl.
This is gonna sound really gay, but promise you won't leave, dude.
Seriousness of the crust makes me pause. Looked into his eyes, and I feel like a selfish asshole. Carl's not fucking ready for this world. He's just gonna rot here. But never really felt right filling this whole big brother role again after what happened. Carl shifts his weight from hoof to hoof, noting my lack of response.
I know I'm like a total burden, but...
You're not a fucking burden.
Huh?
Keep me from losing my mind in this shithole, you know that? You're the reason I haven't left already. Carl stopped shifting, seeming to be trying to wrap his head around that admission. He opens his muzzle to speak, but I cut him off. And don't fucking go off again about how you're almost 21 and you should be better on your own. Turning into an adult doesn't magically fix all the shit that fucked you up as a kid.
Dude, you're not...
Bends his lips, the ram looking rather awkward. I'll stay. For now.
For real?
That's what I just fucking said, you absolute dumbass. Next thing I know, Carl's fist is against my soft spot. Flinch back, perking instinctively, but there's no pain, only the same usual tingly feeling. He's not punching me, he's poking me. Corner of Carl's lips curl upward in a sort of half smile. Nudges me again, this time in the shoulder. Raise an inquisitive brow, thumping back. Steps forward, wrapping his arms around my torso. I'm left standing, a little baffled by what just happened, with Carl's thick arms around my midsection. It's for his course. Not quite to the point where it's pricking me, but it has its weight to it. Look down at the top of his beanie noggin, and clearly is just like when he was a kid again. Real damn milksop. There's no back pats with the hug. He lingers. I open my mouth to say something stupid, then I just bite my tongue. I don't draw back either. Closing my eyes, I empty my mind and just stop thinking for a moment. Lean forward, resting my chin between his horns. Get this weird sort of twisty feeling in my chest. Carl shifts again, as if trying to look up. And of course, the edge of his footsteps right on one of my toes. Suppressed grimace, stressed as the ram lifts his head up enough to meet me eye to eye.
The pain. The pain.
It's fine, I'm tough.
It just makes me think of whenever our dog steps on like foot. His foot itself doesn't hurt, but his nails, especially when they get long, it's just
Ooh.
like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes. Yep, I feel you, Flynn. Alright. Hey.
Oh, sorry. Hold up. He said soft spot, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't mean the soft spot in his head, but kind of what I was thinking.
So in this world, and I assume this is actually real for real lizards, but I don't know biology that well. There is like in a lizard's stomach is where like is a soft spot essentially where they like keep their genitalia and everything.
Huh.
I think that might translate to some like stuff for real world stuff, but like that is pretty much like the explanation within this because like remember like way back at the beginning when like Carl and or no, it was like TJ and Flynn were like play fighting for a little bit. TJ strikes Flynn in the stomach and they're like, species features. Because like that's a rough spot to hit Flynn because everyone knows that's basically where it like that'd be like kicking him in the balls essentially.
Okay. I'm gonna be on Wikipedia tonight. Great. I have to know.
I don't know if that translates for real life animals though, for actual like lizards or Gila monsters like.
Yeah, I have not heard of that. But then again,
I hadn't either until I played this game, so I wonder if it's just something they invented for it.
I mean, people, we get stuff wrong about real furries all the time. It's like, real furries wouldn't have huge bends in their knees because that's just not efficient. Even dogs don't have like, big zigzag legs.
True.
Like real furries exist.
What have you already, Flynn?
Jenna's voice startles us both and we pull apart. I pivot on heel to see the fox staring at us with a look I can't quite place. Surprised, bemused, even a bit wry.
Food's ready.
She looks at both of us. Carl acts like he's checking his phone.
High school me would be squeeing right now. I swear, there's something in the tap water.
This is the thing that Harry keeps referring back to. The line that he keeps referring back to when it comes to Jenna going, there's something in the tap water that turns all the men gay.
Wait, so what is... I feel like, what is Carl doing that's, like, explicitly gay? He's just being like...
So, the thing is, he basically hugged Flynn for a very long time. He's also asking Flynn to not leave him.
Okay.
They're not like quite fully on like the they're like asking each other out thing, but it's starting to border that.
And Flynn is like, don't worry, Carl, I've got a bar for you.
Not quite.
A bar with dolphins.
Flynn's in a weird position where he's admitted to himself that he's kind of using Carl as a surrogate Sydney. Because that was his most important relationship when he was a child. Sydney was essentially his little brother to him. And when Sydney passed, he didn't really have anyone like that. But when Carl came back after dropping out of college, Carl kind of filled that role because he went and just spent time with him. And the two of them spent a lot of time with each other for the past year and a half.
Yeah, because they live in this shitty small town together.
And for Flynn, like he's like debating like, hey, how much of this is me just kind of like leaning a little too far into my old like, hey, I was a big brother figure for you type of persona.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But then like on the other hand, Carl is also trying to figure out like, hey, how into dudes am I even? Because remember, Carl is probably bi. It's not like it's kind of hinted at heavily that he's most likely bi, and most of the fandom agrees that he's bi.
He wants that sweet chase dick.
Well, he does in his own route, but like here in this route, he seems to be kind of interested in Flynn.
He wants that lizard penis.
Kind of.
They have two. They have two penises.
What?
Nice.
That's echidnas, Andrew.
No, lizards have two penises.
Echidna have 4.
Oh.
It's one penis with 4 heads. Come on, get
Yeah,
it right.
yeah, yeah.
I've
I
googled
have
things.
a rap.
Yeah, you're right.
The Hydra.
I mean, if a hydra had
Well,
4
help
heads
me.
and 1
I'm
neck,
talking about dicks.
Sam wants nothing to do with them.
I wouldn't say nothing. But I don't want the 4-headed penis.
Okay.
something about yaoi. I'm gonna make a joke about yaoi, but it's too late at night.
Oh, if only I was bi.
Open my mouth to protest, and just let
Don't
out
open
quiet.
your mouth. Don't.
Yeah.
Let the dicks fly in.
Oh. I have to wheel my tail to not curl and not self.
Then again, I'm pretty sure you don't drink plain water.
She seems to be looking up at Carl. You can practically see Carl's blush on through the fur on his cheeks.
Flynn, when you got a minute?
What? I clear my throat, putting a more neutral expression. What do you want?
I need to talk to you. Not about this.
Her eyes flick back and forth between us. She's drinking in the side that, like Carl downs energy drinks. What the hell does she even... What the hell does she want to talk to me alone about? Glance down to Carl, then back. Yeah, I'm still gonna keep watch after, though.
Is that what you were doing?
She turns, departing as soon as she finishes speaking, not letting me get a word out. Fucking typical. Rub my hand over my face.
It was just a hug.
Carl's voice is quiet, but still rings defensive. Whatever. Fuck her.
I'm, glad you're staying, though, dude.
And I grunt, reaching over her and squeezing the pudge on the ram's side. Grins instinctively, trying to push my hand away. I give his pectoral one last pinch before giving him a nudge out the door to my room. Guess I'm supposed to feel embarrassed right now, but I don't really. Just glad to have this loser around. An accident will be good for Carl if I do go, but I don't want to think about that right now. As I turn to leave, I look at my bed and I can't help but see him laying there.
Woo! Laying
Why is your
there.
controller not doing anything?
Hey,
Controller,
Oh.
you're on. Why aren't you responding?
Did you accidentally click off?
Just not responding.
Huh.
Hmm.
Oh.
Ow.
The vacant look on his face.
You can say squeak on things.
Gross.
were we there for that scene?
It was like, look, the thing is, there's been like, what, 10 sex scenes throughout Flynn's route?
I mean, I do remember there's one point
I thought they
did it in
just
the bedroom.
cuddled.
No, they did not.
No.
They never did.
I don't think that was just cuddles.
Here you go.
Okay, no, look, that's definitely counts as cuddling.
Papa was playing me the whole time, and for what? Get off. That's all it was. Spring break, and he, for some reason, watched through enough Scalyborn to want me. Consequence free, right?
No.
The sound of clinking silverware in the kitchen pulls me back to the present. Straighten out my pants, waiting for
Ah,
before heading back to the kitchen with my rifle.
I want him to show up fully excited with rifle in hand.
Just be like, hi.
Hey guys, this rifle ain't the only thing that's
I,
Dang.
I'm more pleased that even in universe they call it scaly porn.
Well, you know what? I think on that we're gonna end this episode. Say goodbye, everyone.
goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.